beautiful Canadian winter. Don't mind that door closing, I just need to hit it a little bit harder on the left. This is my newest member to my ever so growing fleet. That is a 2019 Yamaha YXZ. And I actually traded my other side-by-side in that none of you guys actually saw. It was a 2024 Z-Force 950. It's CF Moto Z-Force 950 HOEX. Very long title. For this magnificent beast. And sure, I traded in a new machine for an older machine because this is 2019. The other one was a 2024. But I don't think I made a really bad decision. I actually traded in because it was too boring. This, on the other hand, is nowhere near too boring. It is a 1000cc triple cylinder engine making about 115 horsepower, 112 I think is what they officially say, with a 5-speed sequential gearbox. So you feel like you're a Group B rally racer. Anyway, it's like a lion that's being tamed in that sequential gearbox. It's so aggressive, and it's just, my God, it's a lot of fun. Best way I can describe this sequential gearbox, honestly, is like those early Aventadors, the LP700s, with their single clutch gearbox. Well, I guess all Aventadors have a single clutch gearbox, but it's like that. It's the same setup. It's a single clutch sequential gearbox that in the Lamborghinis, they just say it's a single clutch gearbox, 7 speeds, when this is a 5-speed. Even the early Ferraris, like the F1 transmission, those are all sequential gearboxes as well. And a lot of all the LP Gallardos and the pre-LP Gallardos are all single clutch gearboxes too. And basically, if you watch any videos about people in Aventadors or people in LPs, you see that they have a little bit of a jolt every shift because that's a single clutch gearbox. It's not a double clutch where like a Huracan, where it's instant shifting. There's not as much fun with the double clutch, even though it's amazing. I love double clutch cars. I've driven a few of them. But it's just, single clutches are so much more fun. There's so much more, it's just so much more analog, so much more robust and mechanical. And you can't get that in a side-by-side. This is the only side-by-side that has a sequential gearbox. The new RZR Pro R, that is just a regular CVT. Even though it has a 225 liter or 225 horsepower 2-liter engine, it's just a CVT. It's boring. Honestly, it might be super fast, but that's going to get boring after a while. And the Maverick R has a double clutch transmission, which I would love to drive one of those. Actually, I even thought about maybe even trading this in eventually for a Maverick R, but you can't beat the sequential gearbox in this thing. It's so much fun, especially in 2019. If you want to get the best sequential gearbox, get the 2018, 2019, and 2020, because that's still the 5-speed, well, up until 2023, it's still the 5-speed transmission, and you get all the benefits with the actual paddle shifters on the side here, without the drawbacks of having to have it in the middle. It all is, honestly, it's all just personal preference. I would rather them on the steering column, but a lot of people like them on the shifter, and they're all amazing. Oh yeah, and because it's a clutch, it has launch control as well, of course. Sitting in the interior of the Yamaha YXZ, we are adorned with many things. The seats have the YXZ embossed into the headrest, so we're not really headrests, whatever. There's a gear shifter here, as you can see. There's a bunch of these snow-covered dials that say 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive diff lock, and your headlight switch. Down here on this very snowy center console, don't really have this issue when doing car reviews, do I? 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive diff lock. Right now it's in 4-wheel drive because we're in the middle of winter. There's also a, that's a handbrake. Yeah, that's a handbrake. There's also a little cubby here for things like, I guess, your phone or your water bottle while you're destroying things and doing donuts. Yeah, there's also a nice grab handle here for anybody, so they can hang on while you're doing 120 through the trails. Don't do 120 through the trails, that's actually illegal. But there's a little thing here, and there's also a very nice, if I can open it, glove box, which is really nice because there's actually really 2 glove boxes. I don't know why you need 2 glove boxes, but I guess to each their own. I don't mind, it's extra space. Seats are very nice, it might be a little bit snow covered. Over here, this is where your air filter is. or your air intake, I should say. Your battery is all in here. Air filter's in the back, but your air intake is there. This is all your battery and stuff like this. This all comes off for very easy access, I would say. It's not too bad. And yeah, steering wheel, paddle shifters, very fun. What's also nice with the YXZ is you get this little shelf to put things like accessories that Yamaha can sell you for extreme amounts of money. Like there's a cooler that looks like a big Yeti cooler that you can have to the back, and it's like a few $100s, I think, and you can put like your lunch or whatever in it, whatever you want. There's also all these tie-down straps for these accessories. There's 4 of them on the side here, on each side, I guess, or 2 on each side for a total of 4, and you can put like gas canisters. Are good for like straps or bungee cords for these things. You can put your gas canisters for long journeys, and your coolers for your sandwiches and your other things that I won't talk about. Yeah, there's very many accessories you can get for these things. There's also like you can get different windshields, you can get different back plates, which I don't have because I'm not that rich. Yeah, it's nice to have this little shelf. Also, it's good to have if you're hanging out with your friends and you all have your side-by-sides around, you can have a little shelf because not everybody will have said shelf. Very nice. I don't mind it at all. What's also really cool is you get these Yamaha factory fancy Fox racing shocks. So you can actually see moving while you're in the driver's seat and the passenger seat going down the trails. It's really cool. You can look over and you can see the shocks going. It's actually a really neat feature. I love that they left them exposed. You also have 29-inch tires for a total ground clearance of just over a foot. I think it's 12.2 or 12.3 inches, which is not too bad. You can of course get bigger tires, and I think these tires can fit 32s on it, which I would love to get eventually, 31 or 32-inch tires, and pop it up a little bit and make it more aggressive. But yeah, 12.2-inch ground clearance. It will definitely get you over a few bumps, not everything, but it'll definitely get you over a few bumps. But pretty much every single expensive Yamaha has these Fox racing shocks. The R-Maxes have these, and the Wolverine 1000s also have these Fox racing shocks. Very good feature. Let's talk about fuel economy. Expect to use a lot of it. This is a triple cylinder 1000cc engine that revs up to almost 11,000 RPM. You're gonna go through a lot of fuel. On the way back, I believe it was like a half an hour drive, 40-minute drive on the trails in this thing. I went through like a good, almost just about a quarter of fuel. That's quite a bit, especially if you're always high in the RPMs. It's gonna go through quite a bit. It also, this idles at 2,000 RPM. Idles at 2,000 RPM. Pretty much what my diesel's red line is what this thing idles at, which is hilarious. But you're gonna go through quite a bit of fuel, so expect to have those jerry cans on your long trips, or you should bring those jerry cans on your long trips because you will go through quite a bit of fuel in this thing. So I guess that brings me on to what do I don't like about the Yamaha YXZ. Honestly, I wish these tires were bigger. In the 2015, 17s, and 18s, they actually had smaller tires. In 2019, they updated the braking system, they updated the transmission, they updated the tires, but I still don't think they're big enough. I believe in the new 24s with the new Sequential 6-speed that they just introduced. I believe that they actually did increase the tire size. Don't quote me on that, but I believe they did. But if you buy one of these, I think you should put on bigger tires pretty much right away. 31s, 32s, something like that, 30 inches, even more, even like an inch would make a pretty big difference with the whole, like, a dynamic of this and how it drives. It might just be personal preference, but I do wish this exhaust was a little bit louder. I mean, you can see the size of the can on this thing. You could of course get exhaust for these, and they're, you know, $1,000 to $2,000, which I might do eventually. But I really wish that they didn't put as much of a big can. I mean, when you have the X3s, the X3s sound wild. They also have a turbo, but they sound insane. And these things with exhaust on them sound really cool. Because they rev to 10,500 RPM. So I think they should let them sing a little bit. But yeah, I just wish it was a little bit louder. Just give me a little bit more, Yamaha. Come on. I am totally aware that I've been praising the transmission the entire time, and that's kind of the whole point of this machine, and what makes it so fun is the transmission. But when you're on rocky trails, you're going to wear out the clutch quite quickly. There's always this little adaptation that the clutch has to do, and it shows you on the dash where the clutch has to slip to go in the first gear, just like any other single clutch transmission engine. The R-Tronic in the Audi, as I said, the Lamborghinis before, and the F1 transmission and the Ferraris, they all have to engage into that transmission or into that first gear. On a road car, that's fine. Very easily manageable. A lot of roads are, you're driving on a road and it's flat. On a side-by-side, there's always elevation changes. You're always going up rocks and it's going to be slow crawls. They did engineer these transmissions so you can take them, but I just feel like if you're constantly slipping the clutch in the first gear, you're eventually going to burn the clutch out and you're going to start smelling clutch while you're on your trips. I haven't heard many people having a lot of issues with that. I feel like that's just a thing that would happen eventually. The good thing is these clutches are easy to fix and they're very, very cheap, in the clutch sense at least, compared to other cars. But there's always this unmistakable thing in the back of my head that it's just, what if I keep on slipping this clutch? You're gonna eventually smell clutch, and then it's eventually gonna blow up. But I don't think you'll have that much of an issue with it. It's just something to bear in mind. Unlike a CVT where you can just do whatever. Obviously you have to worry about the belt, but you can just kind of do whatever you want. Well, thank you everybody so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I hope all you guys will like and comment some nice things about my new to me Yamaha YXZ. I've been having so much fun in this thing, even in the snow. I've taken it out a few times and it's so much fun. If you're definitely considering buying one of these, you should absolutely go for a test drive. That's what I would that'd be the takeaway that I would say from this thing. Go and have a test drive and just experience those shifts and experience revving to 10,000 RPM. It's so much fun. But thank you everybody so much for watching this video. Please do all the YouTube things. Always trust Yamaha when you're buying an ATV, not those crappy manufacturers. Trust Yamaha or Can-Am, or even Arctic Cat's been making some decent stuff lately. Not terrible. I'll just say not terrible, but trust Yamaha, trust Mavericks. They're great machines. Have a great one.